The story begins with Chen Miren, a kind and sensible girl who dreams of becoming a designer of collectible figurines and winning a gold award for the best Asian product design. When applying to the university, the application for designer was not accepted. Instead, the girl was sent to another department of business administrator, which has nothing to do with her dream. However, the worst part is not this, but the fact that the girl has to study on the same course with a guy named Zhang Wei. Chen resents this, as Jun is her ex-boyfriend from whom she left in the not-too-distant past. After class, Jun decides to approach the girl to find out the reason why they broke up. He doesn't understand if she got bored with their relationship or if Chen fell in love with someone else, but she doesn't want to tell the truth. Instead of confessing, the girl hurriedly runs away. Moreover, at every opportunity, she does the same, or changes the topic of conversation to avoid answering an uncomfortable question. Soon, the girl gets an opportunity to attend an important exhibition event organized by the company where she dreams of working in the future. Using a fake invitation and someone else's name, the girl gets past security and into the gala event. Left alone, Chen tries to take pictures of some figurines, despite the fact that it is forbidden by the company's rules. To her misfortune, the girl is noticed by Jun, who turns out to be the son of the company's owner. After filming Chen and her little crime on his phone, the guy starts blackmailing the girl and promises to expose her if she doesn't add him as a friend on social media. Realizing that she has no choice, Chen agrees to comply with the guy's demand, but he decides not to stop there. Taking advantage of his position, Jun turns the beauty into his maid, who should follow his orders. Chen realizes that this cannot continue and decides to go to another small crime. During one of the classes, the girl is sent to the restroom. Once in the hallway, she hurries to the men's locker room to find and steal Jun's cell phone. After checking the guy's things, the girl manages to find the guy's cell phone but is unable to delete the photo because the files are password protected. Chen uses several unsuccessful attempts as she suddenly decides to use the date of their first date as the password. She manages to unlock the phone, but at that moment, Jun appears and takes her cell phone away. A little later, the guy asks the girl for a full-length portrait. When they were in a relationship, Chen had already tried to draw Jun, so he asks her to finish the drawing. Once the girl finishes the first sketch, Jun asks to draw her another picture. The only reason he does this is because the guy wants to stay by the girl's side for as long as possible. After a few drawings, Chen gets tired and decides to ignore the guy's demands. Leaving him near a tree, the girl goes to a small lake where she finds a cute cat and decides to feed it. Soon, Jun appears there and also decides to feed the unfortunate animal. Realizing that he is doing wrong to the girl, Jun apologizes for his behavior. He explains his actions by saying that he misses her very much. After the breakup, he felt bad and became a callous person, but their meeting changed everything. Despite breaking up for no particular reason, Jun is ready to forgive the girl and try to start their communication again. At the same time, that doesn't mean he'll delete the video or leave Chen alone. Instead, Jun gives her a new assignment: to make a poster of an advertisement that will help them win in a competition within the university walls. A couple days later, Chen creates a beautiful poster that shows a guy holding a cat. Jun is pleasantly amazed because he realizes that this poster has his face on it, but he decides not to tell his emotions to the girl. Instead, he orders another assignment and designs the clothes. A little angry, the girl agrees, but decides to realize the idea in which the guy will walk around in animal clothes. In the evening, Chen and her friend Meow Meow start doing a project when they suddenly notice that they have mistakenly taken their roommate's package. Xiaogu gets very angry at the girls for taking her things without permission, which ends up in a small scandal. A few days later, it is Chen and Meow Meow who are forced to put on animal costumes to become animators to attract the attention of the public. Despite his funny and somewhat silly appearance, Jun decides to join the girls and uses a cute panda costume. The guy knows how to attract attention and cheer up the audience. As a result, many girls want to take pictures with him, and the presentation becomes popular, which brings them success. Looking at the happy and carefree Jun, Chen remembers how they met. As a child, she was constantly protecting her boyfriend from bullies, resulting in him falling in love with her. It seemed that they could become a happy couple, but at some point, the girl's behavior changed, and she withdrew, disappearing from Zhang's life for reasons unknown to him. Thanks to his charm and beautiful costume, Jun wins the contest. Soon he is invited to speak at a conference, where the guy tells the public about his upcoming plans. Chen also attends the event and notices that all the girls have bouquets of flowers to congratulate the guy on his success. The girl gets embarrassed since she's the only one who forgot about it. As soon as Jun finishes his speech, a crowd of beauties surround him, but they didn't know about the fact that the guy is allergic to flowers. As a result, he passes out among the crowd surrounding him. Soon the guy comes to his senses and is angry at the girl for not warning the others about his problem. Disappointed with Chen, Jun says he deleted the video and she doesn't need to be his maid anymore. After the guy leaves, it seems that Chen's life is getting better, and everything that happened can be put in the past. The girl could live peacefully, but instead she steals the poster with the guy's image and hides it in her room. Every day she remembers more and more about the happy moments spent next to Zhang, and Meow Meow begins to suspect that her friend is still in love with the guy. Soon Chen receives an email from her dream company with an offer to meet for her to have a short interview. The girl has a chance to get her dream job, but in order to do so, she must bring work samples or she won't be spoken to. Deciding to act immediately, Chen contacts several factories to ask them to make 100 copies of figurines based on one of her designs. Unfortunately, the large factories are not interested in such a modest order, so they are forced to refuse the girl. Zhang notices that Chen is being rejected by one of the factories and decides to support the girl in her hour of need. The guy invites her to eat at the nearest cafe, but the girl gets very drunk, after which she starts crying. Jun asks not to be upset about lost opportunities, but Chen is firmly convinced that she can join this company and become its employee. A little later, the guy has to carry the girl home since she cannot walk on her own. Once home, he falls on the bed next to Chen and falls asleep. The next morning, Chen wakes up in bed next to the guy, which causes the girl to go into shock. She doesn't remember the events of last night, except for kissing Jun. Embarrassed, the girl tries to get out of bed, but the guy hugs her tightly and forces her back in. A little later, Jun convinces a company to create 100 copies of the figurine he wants. Amidst these events, he and Chen continue to grow closer. It seems that they become best friends, able to support each other in a difficult moment, but the guy clearly has feelings for Chen. Soon the students accuse Chen of stealing, which angers not only the girl, but also her best friend. She and Meow Meow try to defend themselves, but Xiaogu and the other students treat them aggressively. Noticing what is happening, Jun decides to intervene in the conversation and defend the girl, but ends up being the victim of the conflict. Chen reacts rudely to the guy's actions and yells at him, making him look foolish in the eyes of the other students. A while later, Xiaogu discovers that she accused Chen of stealing in vain, as her watch was taken by someone else. Realizing what a stupid thing she did, the roommate feels guilty and apologizes for her unfounded suspicions. At the same time, Chen realizes that she yelled at Jun for nothing, because he was trying to help and protect her. The girl decides to apologize via text message, but immediately deletes it, which angers the guy even more. The next morning, Chen decides to apologize in person, but the guy ignores her. After making various attempts to earn her forgiveness, she brings him a big bottle of water after the basketball game, which makes Jun smile, because he realizes that Chen will always take care of him. The next day, the boy goes to his father's company, where he is forced to work in his spare time. Here, one of his colleagues informs him that the stock of their company has fallen sharply, because they cannot find an approach to consumers. Before panicking, Jun decides to meet with his father to give him some helpful advice. He suggests changing some figures and images to attract new customers. Jun offers some figures created by Chen, but his father doesn't listen to his son's opinion, believing that he doesn't understand anything. The man categorically rejects his suggestions, as he is convinced that he can cope with all the problems without his help. Jun decides to talk to his mother about it, as a result of which she agrees to invest some of her money in the idea and figures Chen. In the evening, she returns home and convinces her husband to also invest some of the money in a figurine collection that has great potential. Soon, Jun and his colleague find an opportunity to start a business together. They decide to open a separate premises, but they don't have enough money to choose a space in an upscale area of the city. After a long search, they manage to rent a small and old store in need of major renovation. Without putting things off, they immediately get to work and hire several construction workers. Busy with work and school, Jun doesn't give up basketball and continues to practice hard. After another game, he meets a girl with whom he had been socializing earlier. Chen notices the guy in the company of another beauty and takes it to heart. Thinking that he is in a relationship with someone else, Chen gets angry and goes home to throw the poster of the guy out of the bedroom. The next morning, Jun arrives at the girl's house to help move the boxes of figurines, but she rudely rejects him. The boyfriend doesn't understand the reason for the girl's change in behavior, so he insists that she explain herself. Not wanting to explain anything, Chen again offers to stay away from each other and leaves, which confuses Jun. In the evening, the pair meet by chance at a cafe, and Jun decides to be nicer to the girl. He does everything he can to melt her heart, and soon he succeeds. Chen tries to figure out who the girl he met with during the day was. Upon learning that it was his relative, the girl calms down and even feels ashamed of her behavior. Realizing that now is the most appropriate moment, Jun takes the girl's hand and offers to start a relationship again. With a smile on her face and a little embarrassed, Chen responds in agreement because their feelings are mutual. A few days later, Chen goes to the company for a job interview. The experts like the girl's figurines and praise her talent, but refuse to hire her because the girl and her education are not related to design. This seems to crush her dreams and hopes, but soon Chen gets a call from the head of the design department. Yudawe has also seen the girl's work and appreciates it, so he hires Chen to his staff, which makes her happy. A while later, Chen notices Zhang doing some repair work at the store. The girl has no idea that it's his store and assumes that the guy has become a poor construction worker. Showing sympathy, she gives him money, but such an act only offends Jun. Sometime later, the guy reopens his store, but does not feel happy about the latest situation with his girlfriend. At the same time, Chen sneaks into his room to clean up and give him a nice surprise. The situation gets out of hand when the guy's room decides to be checked by the university staff. Realizing that she should not be here, the girl is forced to hide on the balcony. Chen is noticed by the students and starts bantering, trying to figure out what's going on. Chen feels awkward and lies about being in a relationship with the guy in the room, saying the name is not Jun's, but his roommate's. She thinks the truth might hurt Jun's image, but lying creates more trouble since the guy was in the crowd and heard her words. Unwilling to listen to the explanation, Jun ignores the girl, leaving her with an embarrassed roommate. A little later, Chen gets a chance to explain herself and apologize for her behavior. As it turns out, the girl asks afraid to publicize their relationship, assuming that it will bring the guy a lot of problems. This frustrates and angers him, as a result of which Jun gives the girl his jacket and asks her to show up at the university wearing it. She can do this or ignore the request, but in this case, they will break up. Not wanting to upset her lover, Chen agrees to wear the guy's jacket and openly declare their relationship. A while later, the students start teasing Jun's roommate, claiming that he has found better friends. After following Jun, the roommate notices him in the company of a woman in expensive clothes and takes some pictures of him. A little later, he tells Chen that Jun is actually a guy from a rich family, but the girl doesn't believe these words. Angry, the guy posts the pictures on social media to spread the news to the whole university. Chen thinks it's a misunderstanding that has a logical explanation, as she has seen the guy without money many times and is sure he is poor. The next morning, Chen and Meow Meow decide to ask the guy about it directly. Jun admits that he comes from a rich family and his parents divorced when he was just a kid. The woman he was seen with at the restaurant is his stepmother. His father gives the guy a small amount of money every month, but this money is barely enough for basic expenses, so he has no luxury items. Chen still doesn't believe the guy, so he follows him around and pays for his transportation as well as his dates, believing that the guy is poor. In the evening, Jun confesses that he is rich, but his father is a very stingy man. To prove that he's not poor, Jun shows the girl the store and admits that he owns it. The girl is still convinced that the guy is lying, but she doesn't want to look pathetic, so she pretends to believe what he says. A few days later, the internet publishes information that Jun is the son of a rich owner of a jewelry company. The girl is angry with this information because the guy did not tell about the fact that his father runs the company in which she dreams of working. Chen makes a scandal, but Jun does not understand the reason. After all, he told her the truth all this time. Feeling uncomfortable with the situation, Chen runs away, which brings a smile to the guy's face. A little later, Jun goes to his father's company to tell the good news. Thanks to the opening of the store, the guy has increased the sales of figurines several times and asks to invest in his store. The stubborn father refuses and doesn't believe his son's words, not wanting to spend money on, as he thinks, a stupid activity. Leaving the company office, Jun notices Chen and decides to chat with the girl. Yudawei watches this and is angry, as he has a long-standing rivalry with the company owner's son. After learning that Chen is dating Jun, Yudawei becomes more demanding towards the girl and rejects all projects, much to Chen's dismay and hurt. After meeting her boyfriend, the girl can't hold back her tears because of her problems at work. Zhang not only supports Chen in a difficult moment, but also asks her not to despair, but to continue to make efforts to move up the career ladder. Feeling supported, Chen decides to show his gratitude and kisses the guy on the cheek, which lifts the spirits of both of them. The next morning, the couple has breakfast in the company of Jun's mother, which is noticed by Yudawei. During the conversation, the girl confesses to her boss that she is in a relationship with Jun, which angers the man more and more. After rejecting the subordinate's ideas, Yudawei makes her work late into the night. Unaware of the problems at work, Jun tries to devise a plan to finally kiss the girl. To do so, he invites Chen to a movie theater showing a horror movie. Jun was hoping the girl would be scared and hug him, but it turns out that Chen isn't scared of horror movies and watches the movie with interest. Trying to find an excuse to hug, Jun pretends to be a coward who is scared of a horror movie. Acting cunningly, Jun feeds the girl popcorn and uses the moment to kiss her. The girl is highly impressed by what happened, but the next morning during a bike ride, Jun kisses her again. A few days later, Jun gets a call from Kaya, an old friend who proposes to meet. The guy agrees, but is afraid that Chen might be jealous of him, so he hides his face under a mask. The next morning, Kaya notices that Jun has a girlfriend with whom he goes out and is in a relationship. Feeling jealous, the old friend comes up with a devious plan and sets about implementing it. To do so, she adds herself as a friend of the unsuspecting Jun. Taking the guy's phone, Chen notices this, which creates some tension in the couple. The girl knows that Kaya and Jun were once close friends in high school, so she is jealous of the guy. The guy asks not to be jealous and explains that Kaya is only an old friend, but no more. Chen seems to believe, and everything goes back to normal, but not for long. Soon the girl becomes suspicious of the guy, assuming that he is hiding something. The roommate only aggravates the whole situation, telling that Jun often does not spend the night at home and leaves in an unknown direction. Soon Chen decides to talk to the guy about it, but he claims that he only loves her. The past does not interest him, and he does not want her to be jealous of him, so he calms the girl and tries to evoke a sense of trust. Despite the guy's convincing speech, Chen continues to worry, thinking he's hiding something. The doubts only increase when the female students inform Chen that they saw her boyfriend with another girl outside the movie theater. Showing jealousy, Chen rushes to the movie theater to see if they are telling the truth. Not meeting Jun, Chen calms down and convinces himself that he can be trusted. At the same time, the guy meets Kaya at a cafe to have dinner and talk. As it turns out, Jun has provided assistance to an old friend, thanks to which she will go to work in the United States. Before leaving, the old friend wants to fulfill the guy's wish list. At the same time, she tries to ruin Jun's relationship again. When the guy goes to the bathroom, Kaya takes his cell phone and calls Chen, pretending to be his lover, which breaks the girl's heart. A couple of days later, Jun comes to see Chen to go on vacation to his parents' house. Instead, the girl declares that their relationship is over and they shouldn't see each other anymore. Jun grabs the girl's hand and asks her to listen to him, but Chen rejects the guy. She loves him, but her heart is broken, so the girl is not ready for another explanation. In the evening, Chen meets with her girlfriends and tells them about what happened. As a show of support, the girl suggests that she remove Jun from her friends list. At the same time, Chen continues to be sad, since in childhood it was not she who protected the guy from bullies, but Kaya. Soon the vacation ends and everyone goes back to school, but Jun ignores the girl and passes by without saying a word. This offends her a lot, because deep down she wanted Jun to show her attention and get her favor. Soon the situation gets even worse, as Kaya does not fly to the US, but stays in the city and enters their university in the same department. Kaya and Jun are constantly socializing, which makes Chen feel like she has no chance to be around her boyfriend anymore. The next morning, another disaster awaits Chen as her design fails miserably, causing Yudawei to decide to fire the girl. On her way home, Chen accidentally meets a guy named Swang. Noticing the sad girl, he decides to cheer her up and buys her an ice cream cone. Jun notices what is happening from the sidelines and leaves, believing that Chen has found a new boyfriend. For a few days, Chen and Jun ignore each other, but still decide to talk. talk. The couple argues heavily and can't hear each other. After witnessing the conflict, Kaya decides to talk to Chen and declares that she wants to date Jun. A short while later, Jun realizes that he wants to get Chen back at any cost and encourages his comrade to help him do so. To do so, he uses him as a messenger to deliver a bag of fruit to the girl. Chen's friends interrogate the guy to find out who exactly handed over the fruit. A little later, they meet with Jun to get to the bottom of the couple's relationship and what's going on between them. Jun confesses that he never had a relationship with Kaya and the girls believe him. Realizing that Chen and Jun need to be together, the girlfriends promise to help make it happen. A little later, Jun makes an attempt to interfere with Swang and Chen to prevent them from starting a relationship, but the girl rejects her ex-boyfriend and asks him to stay away from them. The next day, Chen goes to the museum with her parents, who know nothing about the breakup. Having met Jun, the girl's parents invite him to a joint dinner. To make the situation less awkward, Jun asks Chen's girlfriends to also attend the dinner, creating a friendly atmosphere. Unfortunately for him, Kaya was nearby, and noticing them at a neighboring table, decides to join them. Jun decides to talk to his old friend and asks her to stop looking for a way to get closer to him. Ignoring the request, Kaya abruptly hugs the guy, but he rejects her again. A couple days later, Chen is asked to draw a kitten, but the girl notices Jun in Kaya's company and becomes jealous of the guy again. Kaya ruins everything and Jun rejects her outright. He claims that he loves Chen and will only be with her, after which he walks away. A while later, Swang invites Chen to the rooftop and asks her to give him a chance at a relationship. Remembering that today is her friend's birthday, Chen runs away, but manages to answer with a cherished yes. Soon at the university, there are rumors that Swang lives in a room with some girl. Not trusting it much, Chen and her friends decide to check it out and go to his place. When they meet the girl on the doorstep of the room, they realize that the rumors turned out to be true, and it leads to a major scandal. Jun also finds out about all this and beats the scoundrel who insulted Chen and her feelings. During the conflict, Jun's hand is hit hard, and Chen shows sympathy for him. Pretending to be traumatized, he notices that the sympathy forces the girl to get closer to him. Coming up with an ingenious plan, Jun decides to catch a cold so that Chen will be near him again. After getting sick, Jun goes to the university and coughs, drawing attention to himself. Soon, Chen invites him to the rooftop to give him medicine. The girl refuses to care for the guy, but the very act of buying the medicine brings a smile to his face. In the evening, Chen learns from his girlfriends that Kaya has finally left for the US, leaving the guy alone. Knowing that Jun loves their friend, the girls convince her that nothing happened between him and Kaya. Moreover, Jun is lonely and needs her. Feeling that the girlfriends are right, Chen decides to text the guy and ask him out. On her way to the guy's place, the girl unfortunately gets into an accident. Jun was talking to her on the phone at that moment and realized that something had happened, so he rushed towards Chen. Noticing the girl's body lying under the rubble of building materials, Jun almost went crazy, but it turned out to be just a dummy, and the girl had been behind him the whole time. Realizing that she's okay, Jun hugs the girl tightly and confesses his love to her. Chen realizes that their feelings are still just as strong, so he agrees to start their relationship again, after which the couple kisses passionately. Soon Chen tells her friends about her decision, and they celebrate the occasion. Soon the figurine company is on the verge of bankruptcy. During the most difficult period, Chen decides to return to the company to bring his recent experience back to the company. Jun also decides to work in his father's company, as he and his girlfriend have accomplished a lot during this period. Jun and Chen not only save the company, but also use successful marketing strategies to bring good profits. Yudawei tries everything to get the girl fired. After meeting with the boss, he claims that her ideas are failing, and in the end, it is she and Jun who will lead them to bankruptcy. Despite Yudawei's skepticism, Chen goes ahead with the successful project. Meow Meow helps her best friend distribute flyers throughout the city, which attracts hundreds of new customers. Social media also helps to attract customers, so that sales not only return to their previous positions, but also start to grow. As a result, Jun's father fires Yudawei and decides to invest in expanding his son's store. Working together, Jun and Chen become not only a happy and in love couple, but also successful businessmen.